you to the Cayman Islands Residential and Public Sector Building Energy Efficiency Program, the closing showcase this morning. My name is Donna Bush, and I'm so happy to be here as your MC today for this important milestone event. I hope everyone is having a good morning so far and that you've had some breakfast to get your day started. If you haven't done that, breakfast is available at the back of the room. For those who may come in the room late, they'll have to sit at the back, but if I asked earlier if some people could just move forward, it'll make things a little bit easier as people come in the room to get seated rather than having to come and sit up front. Today, as we all know, marks the culmination of a remarkable journey that's dedicated to improving energy efficiency in both residential and public sector buildings all across the Cayman Islands. Throughout this morning, we'll celebrate the achievements of the program. We'll hear from leaders and experts, and of course, look ahead to how these efforts will inspire continued progress. We thank you for joining us to reflect this morning on the incredible work, as well as to connect with key stakeholders that are driving this change. At this point, I'd like to ask you to please put all of your phones on silent for us. Thank you. So without further ado, let's officially begin by joining me in welcoming the Chief Officer, Nellie Pucci, to deliver her opening remarks. Please give her a round of applause.
So welcome everyone to this Cayman Islands Residential and Public Sector Building Energy Efficiency Program Closing Showcase. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm very honored that you're able to support our ministry and Kristen, our lead on this project, and thank you all so much for being here. So I have apologies from Honorable Deputy Governor Franz Manderson, who unfortunately could not join us as previously planned. But I would like to welcome and have you also join me in welcoming our Honorable Dwayne Seymour, who's our Minister for Sustainability and Climate Resiliency and Wellness. So let's welcome our Minister this morning. Also welcome to other Chief Officers who might be in the room this morning. Thank you for supporting us as well. We are delighted to be joined by several homeowners that also took part in the program, as well as representatives from our industry partners, without whom the execution of this project would not have been possible. Welcome again to you all, and thank you so much for being here today. This program, as we will hear more about soon, set out with two clear goals. One, to improve energy efficiency and facilitate retrofits for both existing public sector buildings and national housing development trusts. Two, to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. And three, to provide cost savings to homeowners and the Cayman Islands government. And throughout our time together today, we will hear how different our how together with Energy Unit, RESEMBID, homeowners, and a team of diligent auditors and contractors work together, learn together, and overcome challenges and setbacks to deliver on those goals. Since I'm working the system, I will leave it right here. And again, welcome you and invite Ms. Donna back to with us.
Such a great group gathered here this morning. Thank you all for coming. When I entered the door, they offered me breakfast. When I said I'm on a diet, everyone looked at me funny.
Where's the camera?
But it is a pleasure to be here today to celebrate the work and the impact of the residential public sector building energy efficiency programs. As delivered by the Energy Policy Unit, the Ministry of Sustainability, Climate Resiliency and Wellness, We'd like to start by congratulating everyone involved for their dedication and the collaboration and passion that undoubtedly needed to make a project like this a success. Energy efficiency is no longer just an option for the Cayman Islands. It is a necessity. Our reliance on imported fossil fuels makes us vulnerable to volatile illness. The support from the program managers at Expertise France and the funding from the European Union, we have been able to provide seemingly small energy efficient practices can deliver big results. By reducing energy consumption and lowering monthly bills for families who need it most, this program has laid the groundwork for future efforts by highlighting proven techniques for energy efficiency building local capacity and raising awareness about the role each of us can play in achieving our national energy goals. It has truly warmed my heart to speak with some of the homeowners and to hear their testimonies of what a difference the program has made to them, how they feel in their homes, and how happy they are that they can be comfortable without increasing anxiety over the cost of achieving that comfort in their home. And ultimately, that's what's important here, the impact of this program on people's lives. Through the successful delivery of this program over the past 2 years, the ministry team has worked hand in hand with RESEMBID to deliver energy results, to deliver energy audits, going into homes and public buildings across our beloved islands, helping people to understand how a few small changes can have a significant impact on their bills and their comfort. By changing circumstances and shifting mindsets, this program will leave a lasting legacy of sustainable progress and development. As a nation, through the updated national energy policy, we have set a pathway and a goal that is achievable to increase our renewable energy penetration by 30% and reduce our emissions by 30% by the year 2030. That's 5 years away. The Cayman Islands government is one of the largest employers in the country, and our energy footprint is huge, and therefore our potential and capacity for impact is huge. If we can reduce public sector costs by making energy changes, then employers all over the island can do the same by being more energy efficient and reducing energy consumption. The public sector buildings are also expected to lower their greenhouse gas emissions and contribute to the national goal. Positive results of this program fill me with confidence that with collaboration, community engagement, and commitment, we can meet and even exceed those targets, continue to boldly chart a sustainable and resilient course for the Cayman Islands, ready to meet future challenges. I am excited to see how much further we can go in our energy efficient efforts, and the ministry and its partners will always have my full support. The residential and public sector buildings energy efficient program is a testament to what we can achieve when we put people, communities, and the environment at the heart of progress. Together, we can build more sustainable and energy efficient Cayman Islands for the comfort and convenience of our lives today and for the benefit of future generations. On behalf of the Cayman Islands government, I thank everyone involved in the programs for your contribution to our nation's energy efficiency efforts. Thank you and congratulations to all. Thank you, Kristen, for your efforts and the team.
Now our Senior Policy
advisor, Kristen Smith, will take the stage to deliver what we call an insightful presentation on the accomplishments and, of course, the lessons that have been learned from this particular program.
To meet all the faces that we met online, that we never saw. It was really nice to see so many of you come today. This project has been near and dear to my heart for a long time, and it's great to see it finally come to a close. It's something that has been funded by the European Union, and although it was a requirement to have a closing ceremony, I thought it's a great time to bring every single stakeholder that's been involved or could get involved in future projects. So I'm just going to take you through the backstory of how this all started and the results of what happened. So I'll go through what RESEMBID is and then the two residential and the public sector programs that we implemented. So first of all, RESEMBID stands for the Resilient, Sustainable Energy and Marine Biodiversity Program, which is financed under the European Union, the European Development Fund Caribbean Overseas Territory Regional Program, and is implemented by Expertise France. And way back in January 2020, pre-COVID, a group from Expertise France visited the Cayman Islands. The Cabinet Office invited several stakeholders on the island to come out and hear about this funding that was available from the EU. And one of the core objectives of RESEMBID is to support national sustainable human development efforts through increased energy efficiency of infrastructure, the high impact on energy consumption. So this automatically kind of fell right in line with what the national energy policy is kind of set out to do. These are the list of all the 12 territories from across the Caribbean that they visited. Then, for those of you, a lot of people think, sustainable energy, where's the solar? We need the solar. And it's more than just solar. So it's renewable energy, solar, wind, and also about how we use the energy. So we don't want to get to a point where we've put in all the solar, we're 100% solar, and people are like, oh, I've got free energy, let's leave the lights on, let's leave the AC on. We actually need to know how to conserve that energy, use it more efficiently so that we don't have to put in more generators, clear more land. So they all go hand in hand. So it fit in with several policies that we had in the national energy policy. And it ticked several boxes that we used to build our concept note that we had to submit to get this grant. And during the middle of this, COVID happened and everything kind of went quiet for a while. And so during those quiet times, we came up with a home energy makeover. I was talking to my colleague at CUC, and I was like, how can we track people's results? We want to go further than just social media campaigns about reducing your energy efficiency. How about we do a home energy makeover, get sponsors to sponsor one home to be retrofit with goods. So we launched this in October 2020 in partnership with CUC, and we got several sponsors on board. We had CEL Cooling donated 10,000 worth of AC equipment. Cooling Pros and Foam Pros donated insulation. Dart and Saxon donated some cash towards helping with marketing and all the extra expenses. So when we launched that campaign, we had an opportunity for 8 single-family homeowners to retrofit to win a free home energy audit. And we analyzed their homes to see how their homes were operating inefficiently and recommend effective improvements. Once again, I just have the sponsors there. CUC did the 10,000 towards the audits and three smart thermostats towards those 8 homeowners. 802 people applied, and that was a big number for us. We thought, great, all these people are interested in energy efficiency. That's great marketing right there. We did a random selection of the 8 homes. We installed energy monitors. Green Tech was contracted to perform the energy audits, and everybody got an energy audit report to show how their home was doing. We selected that one home, and we started the retrofit of the spray foam and the new AC equipment. That was it, spray foam and AC. We started under, we've gone through several ministers and chief officers. We started under Minister Hugh, where these are the people that won the free energy audit. And then we have the winner with Mr. Panton and all the sponsors. And these were the results. So if you look at the orange line, this was the before the retrofit. And we get to the first green line, was where we put in the spray foam. And we expected it to drop a little further, but it didn't go as high as the previous years. And then when we put in the AC, that's when we really saw it drop. And then the blue line shows the following year, where it's gone from a high of just over 3,500 kilowatts to down to just over 1,000. So we saw that this really made a difference of just insulation and air conditioning. And we've done a post-implementation report to show the results, which is available online. So we use this data and this information to submit the full business case to go further and do a bigger scale of that project. And we received funding in 2022 to do both a residential energy efficiency and a public sector. So I'll just take you through the residential. We received a grant of just over 900,000 euros to implement this project. And this is how the budget was allocated. With the European Union, I was thinking, just give me some cash and I will just put it in homes. But they're very much like, it's based more on, they want technical support, they want to give us consultants, we need to learn from them. So the retrofitting was a small component of a bigger whole-scale commitment that they wanted us to do, which turned out to be really nice with their support and guidance. So the budget allowed us to get a project manager and a project manager assistant to run the program. We had to invest in laptops, the energy monitors, air conditioning units, the insulation, the air conditioning, the solar panels, renting the vehicles to drive around to all the different properties, and accommodation for homeowners for one night. This is something we learned in the first project, was about when you spray foam, you have to leave for 24 hours. And it was something we didn't think of the first time, so we're glad we budgeted it for it this time. We also had to do a big communication component. We've done several, we went to the Builders Expo, several on the radio, and we contracted a communication specialist for that. And then we had all these technical support people that we had to bring on board. So we've been through a lot of procurement, contractors, bidders. We're very familiar with procurement law now. And to get all these people on board. So we had certain outputs that we had to meet. The first one was a socioeconomic study. How are we going to choose the homes? And there were actually, we had to use a government housing site for the project. So naturally we went to the National Housing Development Trust and said, hey, we'd like to choose these homes. We worked with them. There are 127 homes. We went out, handed out leaflets. 55 homes applied to take part in the program. We brought on the socioeconomic consultant, helped to develop the application form. And it was looking at, he created a weighting system. So for example, looking at age, older people were priority, looking at gender. They want to look at female-led households, looking at vulnerability, salary, any dependents, and we had a weighting system of how these people were chosen. And so we chose 10 homes to take part in the program, and the socioeconomic consultant was from Adam Solutions in Barbados. After that, we had a structural assessment to make sure all homes would be able to hold solar panels and be suitable for the retrofits. Contracted local consultant, Reed Consulting. Energy monitors were then put into the home, which are put into the panel box onto each breaker so that people can see how their energy is being used. They can log on and see, oh, my dryer is using too much energy. Oh, the child left on the stove. You know, whatever it is, they can actually monitor the energy on their phones and see what's happening. After that, we had energy auditors come down. We contracted from Canada, Econolair. They came down and did level 2 energy audits through all the 10 homes. And the key recommendations were R30 attic insulation, 20 SEER AC upgrades, solar water heaters, low flow faucet and shower heads, and LED lights. Which we knew insulation and AC were the key, but it was the rating and the value, which we weren't kind of aware with the first time. Where a lot of people use the standard, oh, I'm just putting in insulation, well, what value did you put in? I don't know. Well, they were putting in low R19s, R20s, and it wasn't making a difference. So reviewing the codes and saying, well, R30 for our climate would be the appropriate option. And the AC units, you built your house. What did you put in? I don't know. Sometimes when we went and check, it's low 13 SEERs, 11 SEERs, which aren't very energy efficient. So they're building their beautiful home, and then they're not able to afford to live in it because that was the last thought. And when you're building your home, it has just like how hurricane straps and hurricane protection windows is the first thought. Making your home climate resilient needs to be the first thought. So everybody, this is an example of an energy audit report that was handed out to all the homeowners so they can see how their home is doing. And then we started the retrofits. So we put in the insulation, hired local eco house to install the insulation. Parsons AC installed the 20 SEER units, and Pro Solar has installed the solar panels for all 10 homes. So these are the results. So as you can see in the orange, we installed the installation in June. So we would see about a 2-month lag, I believe, in bills. So by August, we're starting to see that dip, and August is when you put in the air conditioning. And so it's really dipped September, October, the hottest months. It's nice to see compared to the blue lines, which is the year before. You've seen that dip in consumption. So dropping from just under 1,400 kilowatts to just over 600 kilowatts. And when Homework came in just now, she said her bill has dropped from $800 to $170. And so that's kind of the results we like to see. Another homeowner here, her bill was our consumption. We're measuring consumption because the fuel prices keep changing. So her consumption was just over 1,500, and it dropped to, what's that, maybe 600-700 kilowatt hours. So another big drop for her. And we made sure we picked homes in all the, NHDT has homes in 4 districts. So we made sure to spread it out throughout the districts. So just another example of dropping down to 1,000 kilowatt hours. So we were great to see that it worked. This one, yep, below 500 kilowatt hours for this home. So even though she was low to begin with, she would still even get it even lower. So not only did we have to do the retrofits, we thought, okay, going forward, long term, what are the kind of the next steps? And we had a consultant come and do an energy efficiency financial program. He visited the island, met with many banks to see, well, what kind of programs can we do in the future? He looked at several throughout the region and the world of other programs that they've done, met with several banking associates, who a lot of the local banks are offering loans for energy efficiency retrofits, which is really nice to see. So we can use this information in the future to do a business case if we decide to keep going with another program. And then we've also developed energy efficiency guidelines. We've done an infographic for homeowners and guidelines for the construction industry. Because we were hearing a lot of mixed information about, for example, the R19 is good enough, the R30 is what you need. What kind of SEER? And so we want to try and meet with all the stakeholders, met with Contractors Association, Architects Association, to try and compile this into a guideline document. So that's currently with stakeholders now, so that we can get that information out of what we really need to make our homes climate resilient. So while we were doing that, we thought we'd take on another challenge in the middle, and the ministry was like, we really like the sound of this project. Can we please do one for just more homeowners, not just NHDT? And we developed the Cayman Home Energy Efficiency Program, which launched in 2023, called the CHEER program. And 29 homes qualified under that program, making sure they were Caymanian, they lived in the home, maximum income of $4,000 a month, small homes, no more than 2,500, and with large bills. So all 29 homes that were qualified received the free energy audit, courtesy of CUC. And so far, we have retrofitted 12 of those homes and the same results. And we didn't use spray foam. We used the fiberglass, but the same R30 value. And we're still seeing the same good results where it's dropping. This home went from, let's see, over 3,000 kilowatts in April down to just 1,000. One homeowner said her bill went from $1,100 a month to $300 a month. So we're really seeing some good results. And what was interesting, calling these homeowners and speaking to them, one of them was like, yep, they took on board all the tips, they've changed their behaviors, they're leaving the AC up when they leave the home, her bill went down. Others are, we still leave it on. So it all depends on your behavior as well to really make the big changes. So we're hoping that our next steps will go out and share this information so that more homeowners get knowledge of the big impacts that can happen. So government has been very supportive by doing a 0% tariff rate on several energy efficient options. So spray foam and foam sheets are duty free, smart thermostats, low E film for windows, home energy monitors, renewable energy equipment, and electric vehicles are all duty free. So we thank the government for their support for making, helping with those incentives. So another component was the training program that we did to help teach people about energy audits. And when we first developed it, we thought we'd create energy auditors, not kind of realizing how much background and engineering experience people might need to know about energy auditing to make them certified. So we made it a simpler program of just kind of learning about their buildings and energy audit practices. And we marketed towards students in the Public Works Apprenticeship Scheme and the UCCI students. Unfortunately, we didn't get any applicants there, so then we opened it up to the government facility managers, existing facility managers, to kind of learn more about making sure their buildings were energy efficient. And we had 14 people come. We had training online as well as in person, and they were able to shadow and go out on site and see energy audits in practice. And then there was also an exam, which was optional, which people completed. And then this is just a little video just to summarize what we've done.
Islands, where community and sustainability meet. Today, we explore the transformative residential energy efficiency program funded by the European Union through the RESEMBID initiative and in collaboration with Expertise France. This program focuses on the heart of the community, its homeowners, like Miss Veronica Ebanks.
I'm a single mom not working, and it's very hard on me. My last energy bill here is $419 and some change. Like the water is $56 and change. It's hard, very hard, because I am not working right now, and it's very hard.
Just retired, not working, and to know that the program helped me with this, and praying that, the bill go down really, really low. At least, whatever little change I have, I'll save.
This program aims to retrofit homes with advanced, energy-efficient technologies like solar panels, appliances, and insulation. The EU awarded the ministry more than €911,000 in 2022 for the program, which was open to those who own their homes through the National Housing Development Trust. In 2023, energy consultants David Barnett and Jan Garno arrived on island. Their mandate was simple: conduct energy audits through 10 homes, train others through the energy audit training component of the program, and make recommendations on how the homeowners could save energy.
The main objective really is to go through the technical assessments, to get the data, and then interact with people here so that they have a sense of what energy efficiency is about and audits are about. Later on, we'll begin to do the reports. So ultimately, the reports will then inform residential entities of their energy use, the opportunities that they'll have to reduce the consumption of energy, their financial savings in that regard.
It also aimed to raise awareness about the importance of sustainability in the Cayman Islands community and how even small changes can make a big impact.
If everyone was knowledgeable about energy efficiency, then they would make the right choices. So it's really about raising awareness.
Energy audits conducted across homes identified critical inefficiencies, outdated appliances, and inadequate insulation leading the list.
You know, we visited some of the homes, and the comment that kept coming back is, wow, you know, I've stopped using my dryer because it's just too expensive. I've stopped using my electric stove because it's too expensive. But if you help them to understand that by using more efficient technology and changing their behavior, they can actually reduce their costs, that gets people excited.
They compiled their findings in a report and made recommendations to the ministry. The reaction was swift. Through the program, the homes were retrofit with solar panels, energy-efficient AC units, and foam insulation. After an open procurement process, the ministry selected Parsons AC, EcoHouse, and Pro Solar to serve as suppliers and carry out the retrofits. Since they were installed, Ms. Joy and Ms. Veronica have seen significant energy savings, as have all the homeowners.
Oh, I'm ecstatic. I'm really over the hill. They're doing a wonderful thing for the community.
Meanwhile, the training aspect provided local leaders from the public and private sectors a better understanding of what energy audits are and how to conduct them.
They made it all relevant to Cayman, and it was very interesting, and you could see how what decisions you make day to day could impact your energy usage and costs and things like that.
It's been a wonderful experience because I'm actually developing a more detailed eye of the energy audit process, basically, and actually developing the skills that are needed for professional auditors.
Through several campaigns, the ministry also engaged the public to raise awareness of the benefits of energy efficiency. Econoler also produced a homeowner's guide and contractor's guide available on the ministry's website. Through dedication and community effort, the Residential Energy Efficiency Program not only reduces costs and conserves energy, but also sets a precedent for future generations in the Cayman Islands.
Just want to say a special thank you to the homeowners that came today that also appeared in that video for allowing us to invade their homes. So thank you so much. So that was residential. Now we get to public sector. We thought the same needs to be done. If we can reduce our spending in the public sector, we can use it for other things within government. And it was a very similar program. We received 371 euros to implement this program. And it went to contracting a project officer, the laptop and the equipment, the AC equipment for the installations, the communication person, and several consultants, including energy code, structural engineer, energy auditor, financial consultant, meal consultant for the case study report, and expenditure verification audits. So first output was contracting the energy code consultant, who came down to also Adam Solutions, so the same one that did the residential, to compare our current codes to the CARICOM regional energy efficiency code, with the ICC codes that we're already using, to see, well, what can we develop for Cayman? And he put together a standards guide, which we shared with the key stakeholders in government. And we've also put forward to the Building Code Review Committee to see if these standards can be part of the code that we upgrade and implement. Next was the structural consultant, Reed Consulting, also did structural analysis of all 13 buildings. And Econoler, the same one for the residential, while he was on island for 3 weeks, also did the public sector buildings. So the 13 buildings we chose in working with Public Works, who helped us to select the buildings. The Theolin McCoy Primary School, the Coast Guard Base, Savannah Primary, East End Primary, Airport Post Office, General Post Office, West Bay Post Office, Edna Moyle Primary School, West Bay Library, West End Post Office, Cayman Blackfire Station, and the Edward Bawden Airfield. So We included the sister islands in these audits as well. And from that, it was always a plan to retrofit 3 of the buildings. And we selected the West Bay Public Library and the Airport Post Office. And we also had the Parliament building. We put out a bid to do insulation for the Parliament building, but unfortunately we didn't receive any bidders. So we concentrated on the 2 buildings, which is good because the costs were a lot higher than we anticipated. So Airport Post Office already has their unit installed, and West Bay Library will be installed within the next couple of weeks. So we're going to be tracking those results to see the impact on those buildings. So unfortunately, we don't have any consumption results for those buildings today. We also did a financial consultant to see, well, how can we do more public sector buildings in the future? And he created a strategy for us that we can use in a business case for the future. This is just an example of a report, so creating a baseline report for each building of what's currently being used and proposed if we put in the implementation measures. And all government, all the agencies that we use were provided with this report so that they know in the future when they're ready to retrofit that they can, these are the kind of the key things that they can implement. We also did a lot of collaboration. So together we went out, we did drives at the Government Administration Building, handing out information to government staff about energy efficiency and DIY energy audits. And then this is just this video summary.
Welcome to the Public Sector Energy Efficiency Program
in the Cayman Islands, an initiative aimed at transforming the energy landscape of government facilities through advanced sustainability practices.
What we try to do is to identify the areas of energy use. We try to identify the areas and opportunities for reduction in that energy use. And we also try to look at the opportunities for improvements in the technologies used for energy.
In 2022, the European Union's RESEMBID initiative awarded the Ministry of Sustainability and Climate Resiliency and Wellness more than €370,000 for the program. It called for comprehensive energy audits across 13 public buildings, including schools, libraries, post offices, and the House of Parliament.
We try to get an understanding of how the building affects energy, as in heating or cooling. We do an assessment on what is plug load on any electrical devices and see how much power is being consumed and how much could be reduced. We also look at lighting and see what type of lighting they have, what opportunities they have, and we do the same with water and so on. So we look at the building, we look at the equipment, and we look at the activities that affect energy.
They found a variety of needs across the buildings, from simple solutions like low-flow water devices to modern energy-efficient HVAC systems. They found those changes potentially could cut the building's energy consumption by 25%.
When we look at our utility bills monthly, and then we multiply that by 12 for an annual report, any way we can find ways to save, it's essential for us so that we could transfer those savings into other things that probably can do better for our children and our staff at the schools. And we look at little things. I did a project at a previous job where we just sealed windows and doors, and we saw a 15% decrease in electricity bill just by doing that. So it's essential for us.
You know, we're all concerned about climate change. It is getting hotter. Cayman, Jamaica, the Caribbean, we're experiencing it. We're losing our beaches and so on, and that's all an environmental issue, but we have the opportunity to make an impact in the earlier stages. But really where we should start is reducing our consumption of energy. So this project really recognizes that the environment is impacted by our activities, and therefore by our activities we can reduce our share of the environmental challenges. So if the country can reduce the amount of fossil fuel it imports, the amount of energy it has to generate for people's use, then it has more finances to use in the economy, for development, for schools, for hospitals, etc.
Crucial to the program's success is the training element. Local stakeholders from the public and private sector engaged in the energy audit training program.
It was super informative. It was nice to have a variety of different types of buildings to see the differences in those buildings, and obviously there's a lot of older building stocks within the public sector, so seeing how we can improve those.
It's been a wonderful experience because I'm actually developing a more detailed eye of the energy audit process, basically, and actually developing the skills that are needed for professional auditors.
The program also focused on partnering with local businesses to help carry out the recommended retrofits. For instance, Parsons Air Conditioning was contracted to install energy-efficient AC units at the Airport Post Office and West Bay Public Library.
So we're looking at options, but the capital outlay is our main issue at this time. But we look at returns on investment. So far, our studies have shown that we can get 8-year returns on investment in about 8 years. But like I said, the initial capital outlay is what we really need.
Another big part of the program was education. The ministry's team engaged the public through a variety of awareness campaigns online and through other avenues like appearances on Radio Cayman and the 2024 Builders Expo.
So it's really about raising awareness about energy efficiency and providing information to people and helping them in selecting better energy efficiency equipment. If everyone was knowledgeable about energy efficiency, then they would make the right choices.
The journey towards a more sustainable and economically resilient Cayman Islands continues, with the public sector energy efficiency program paving the way. This initiative is more than a cost-saving measure. It's a commitment to future generations.
Who came down to visit all the agencies that received the grant. And our focal point, Mr. Simon Amos, took them around to see the homes. So once again, we invaded the homes and they let us in to showcase the retrofits that we had done. Expertise France also visited again last year. So they not only provided the program management support, but we had to provide quarterly reports, interim reports, financial reports. They came to do the tripartite review, and the last thing we have to do now is an expenditure verification, audit, and a terminal evaluation. So a lot of administration for this project. So these are kind of a lot of the documents that are online. We've created a summary report of the program highlights for each program. We've done a case study report that we'll share regionally on the learnings of what we've learned from this program. We have the infographic on energy efficiency, how to lower your costs, and we have the do-it-yourself energy audits that are also online. A lot of this can be done without our stakeholders, which is why you're all here today. We worked through a lot of government agencies. When we put this together, it's like, wow, we really worked through a lot. The thing about we work in silos, not this project. Everybody came out, everybody met. It was a beautiful thing working with so many different agencies. I just want to say thank you to all the chief officers and the directors and the staff. I want to give them a round of applause. Thank you so much. And this is our external stakeholders. And what was nice is only 2 of these stakeholders were from overseas. Everybody else was a local stakeholder that took part and helped with implementing this project, from the Case and Contract Association, the utility companies, both Cayman BRAC and local Grand Cayman, everybody that just helped out with implementing this project. Thank you so much. So future projects, we might do a Chair 2.0. We'll look at our lessons learned and see if we'll go forward with a Chair 2.0 and a public sector building energy audits. We've also won another grant. My colleague Lisa Hurlston, where is she? In the back. She submitted for another grant from, it's a new program, instead of RESEMBID, the Green Overseas program, where we won up to 144,000 euros for a resiliency scorecard for the climate change policy and the national energy policy. So that's currently out for tender, which is being led by Expertise France, and we hope to be implementing that this year. And the Governor's Office, along with the UK Office, Foreign and Commonwealth Office, has implemented a green and resilient energy transition project, and we met with several stakeholders November, December last year to implement more projects towards the national energy policy. So it'll be another busy year. And these are just the closing remarks from our program support officer.
I'm Edward Turville, a Senior Program Manager with RESEMBID. While I am unable to be with you in person today to celebrate the successful completion of these two remarkable projects, I wanted to share a few words of appreciation. For the past several years, I've had the privilege of overseeing and supporting our implementing partners across the resilience portfolio. More recently, my role has expanded to encompass several sustainable energy initiatives. Over the past few months, I have been deeply impressed by the remarkable progress achieved by our partners here in the Cayman Islands. You stand out as a true leader among the Caribbean overseas countries and territories, having secured the highest number of RESEMBID grants and funding within this region. This achievement speaks volumes about your commitment to sustainable development. But beyond the impressive figures, what truly resonates with me is the unwavering dedication of our partners to deliver projects that are not only impactful, but also meaningfully address the unique needs of the Cayman Islands within the three thematic areas of the program. On behalf of the entire RESEMBID team, I express our sincere gratitude to Cabinet Secretary Mr. Samuel Rose and our national focal point, Mr. Simon Amos from the Ministry of Sustainability and Climate Resiliency. I also want to acknowledge the incredible dedication and hard work of the core team at the Ministry, Kristen, Lucy, Megan, and Karen, and the invaluable contributions of the dedicated consultants. Your collaborative efforts have been instrumental in the success of these initiatives. A special thanks also goes to the NHDT and all program participants whose active engagement in the energy audits and retrofitting activities has been crucial in demonstrating the tangible benefits of energy efficiency. Today, we celebrate the successful completion of two impactful projects under the theme Powering Savings, Cutting Costs with Energy Efficiency. These projects, made possible through the generous support of the European Union, exemplify the transformative power of resilience and sustainable development. The audit of 13 public buildings, including schools and government offices, followed by the successful retrofitting of 2, is a significant achievement. These efforts have not only reduced energy consumption and costs, freeing up vital resources for other essential services, but have also built valuable local expertise through training and fostered a greater understanding of the importance of energy efficiency within the community. The retrofitting of 10 NHDT low-income homes with advanced energy-saving technologies represents an important first step towards a more sustainable future. These retrofits have not only lowered energy bills and reduced the island's carbon footprint, but have also empowered residents and raised community-wide awareness of climate vulnerabilities. Furthermore, by training local stakeholders in energy auditing, the project has laid a solid foundation for future scalability and sustainable growth. As highlighted in the final reports, these accomplishments underscore the critical need to further scale these efforts. Expanding retrofitting initiatives to encompass more households and public buildings, integrating renewable energy systems, and fostering behavioral change through workshops and incentives will be crucial in amplifying these successes and institutionalizing energy-efficient practices across the Cayman Islands. A special note of appreciation goes to the European Union, whose generous support has made these impactful initiatives possible across 12 overseas countries and territories, including this remarkable effort in the Cayman Islands. As we conclude, I encourage all of us to remain inspired by the progress we have achieved together. Let us continue to work collaboratively towards a future where sustainability and resilience are not merely goals, but a shared way of life. Thank you for your attention and congratulations once again on these significant accomplishments.
Thank you so much. But before we wrap up, I just want to do a special thank you to the project team that helped me get through this. Miss Nellie, if I can ask you to come and hand out things. So first I want to bring up Miss Lucy McLaughlin, who was our project And then we had Kilwana, who is the project manager assistant behind. And one more. Then you put in your insulation. R, what was the R value? Thank you. What was the SARE value for the AC? Priority. When your AC dies and you need to retrofit, make sure you put in a decent one so you can help to reduce your cost of living. Thank you so much for listening.
I'd like to now acknowledge former Minister for Climate Resiliency and Sustainability, Mr. Willie Panton, who's here with us this morning. So guess what? We've now come to the end of the official program. I'd like to now call on Ms. Melly to give the closing remarks.
And confident that what has been achieved will continue to develop and expand into the future. The vision for the national energy policy is enhancing and embracing a sustainable lifestyle through responsible, affordable, and innovative energy supply and consumption. And I think we can all agree that through successful partnership programs like this, that involvement and engagement in the community directly, we are witnessing the vision of the policy becoming a reality. As a ministry, the targets of the National Energy Policy continue to guide our work, and the results of these programs have proven that we can do more and go further. With the right commitment and collaboration, small island nations can effectively respond to global issues while simultaneously enhancing local capabilities and economic stability. As we conclude today's event, I want to leave you with two things. One reminder and one challenge. The reminder, seemingly small actions can make a significant difference to individuals, the economy, and our environment. And lastly, the challenge. You heard today about savings and benefits of actively reducing energy consumption and auditing homes and businesses. My challenge to you is this: implement just one thing to reduce your energy consumption, either at home or in your workplace. It could be changing the LED light bulbs at home, or switching to a more energy efficient AC, or even petitioning your employer to review their energy spend and look for savings. Whatever you choose, remember that together we can achieve our national energy goals. Thank you once again for your part in the energy efficiency journey of the Cayman Islands. And again, many thanks to Kristen and her team at the ministry and all of you as stakeholders who contributed to the success that we are at today. Please feel free to enjoy some refreshments and to network as we come to this part of our program with each other. Thank you for coming and enjoy the rest of the day.
Now, this is your opportunity now to network with the key stakeholders, as well as to ask them questions, maybe exchange ideas with them on this topic that we discussed here today. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your day.